Lauren, I'm in downtown Ludlow, Vermont. This is Route 103, which essentially cuts straight through the town. Till about an hour or so ago, a section of this road to the north was closed and a section to the south was closed. What this did was it effectively cut off Ludlow from the rest of the state. The reason 103 was filled with water, not just a little bit, but enough to make it difficult to walk across. If you have a look here, here's the reason the road was flooded. This area here, I'm standing in a parking lot. We're told waves were coming up, lapping the side of this building, exposing the foundation and ripping up the pavement like it was paper. The reason the water was so high here and strong can be seen just down here. If you follow me, this is the Black River, which looks turbulent. If you can see it now, you can only imagine what it was like on Sunday. We're told that where I'm standing now, I would have been underwater. The water was that high. It exposed the rear of this building. Big threat was this power pole here as well. It just ripped out anything in its path, whether it was concrete, metal, you name it. Right now, the big job for a lot of people is cleanup. They've got to get a lot of this out and begin to restore a little bit of sanity. You have to remember, though, this is just one of countless scenes throughout Ludlow over a several-mile stretch along 103. We're told as a result of the severe flooding, one person was killed, a woman in her 50s. There is a bright spot to all of this. There's a community, there's a very nice restaurant just a couple of blocks from where I'm standing. This is the second night in a row that they're offering a free meal to anybody who's had to deal with flooding here. Lauren, back to you. Police in St. Albans say it's amazing no one was seriously injured after a manure spreader crashed into a downtown building. They say it appears the driver couldn't stop and aimed for the safest option, a vacant building. From a distance, it looked like a bomb had exploded in downtown St. Albans Friday.
We just heard a lot of noise and there was a lot of stuff flying around through the air.
A huge gaping hole in the front of the building hid the cause, which poked through the back, a manure spreader. Chef Gene Kegler was working just 2 doors away when the truck crashed through the building.
First, you think it's a joke. And when you went out, it's like, oh my God, I've never seen anything like it before.
What's more amazing is the path the driver apparently took to get here. You can find evidence of the truck driver's journey at least a quarter of a mile from where it ended down at the bottom of this hill. Police say it appears the driver, whose name has not been released, couldn't stop as he gained speed down the hill.
It appears that he, was missing things intentionally.
Even as he approached the busy intersection, police say the driver managed to avoid people, choosing road signs over cars and leaving a trail of twisted metal and splattered manure.
He picked the only empty building there is and went right through it.
Police say the driver got out of the truck on his own and was taken to the hospital as a precaution. Kegler is convinced the driver's quick thinking under pressure saved lives.
If he didn't make that turn, it would have went through our restaurant, and we had about 30, 40 people in the restaurant.
Amazingly, police say the driver suffered only minor injuries. Now, a temporary shelter has been opened tonight for 5 families living in downtown apartments who were displaced by that crash. A Vermont lawmaker is in the spotlight tonight, not for what he's done, but for what he said and his reaction after getting caught plagiarizing someone else's work. Just days after delivering a lengthy speech on the floor of Vermont's House of Representatives, Republican Representative Tom Burdett didn't have much to say.
My ride's waiting for me.
The freshman representative clammed up when we asked him about his health care speech and the fact that several paragraphs were identical to an essay on universal health care written by Dr. Lawrence Huntoon. Burdett's speech is on the left, Huntoon's is on the right.
There's absolutely nothing you want to say.
But Burdett told the Burlington Free Press that he's inexperienced at speech writing and didn't see anything wrong with using someone else's words.
You don't need a moral philosopher to know that this is wrong. Everybody knows that this is wrong.
Don Loeb is a moral philosopher. He's also an associate professor of ethics at UVM. Loeb says what bothers him most is that Burdett reportedly said he didn't see anything wrong with plagiarizing the doctor because he shares the doctor's opinion.
Imagine if he'd taken somebody's book word for word and said, I'm going to publish my own version of David Copperfield because I agree with every word Dickens wrote. So what? They're not your words.
We wanted to know what House Speaker Shap Smith thought about the incident, but we were told he didn't want to get involved. Loeb says all of this sends a very troubling message about plagiarism.
Because after all, my state rep does it. That I think is wrong.
We tried to find rules against plagiarism in Vermont's House of Representatives. There aren't any. Each lawmaker is required to take an oath when sworn in, which includes that they will conduct themselves as, quote, a faithful, honest representative. Among all of the flooding and destruction, there are some amazing acts of kindness. We found one today. He goes by the name of Bob. Among the people huddled on Mark Plant's front yard who were trying to keep Lake Champlain from taking over the back were his two sons, friends, and lots of neighbors, people you'd expect to see.
I don't know what I'm doing here.
Including Jade Burchard. After all, she lives right across the street and has been watching the water fill her neighbor's yard here for the past 2 weeks. But there was one pair of hands here that was completely unexpected.
That's good.
They belong to Bob Perrin.
Do you know the people here?
No, I don't.
Who just happened to be riding his bike through this waterfront community.
I just saw the people shoveling sand and filling up bags, so I said they need a hand.
A complete stranger at the start of a sandbag assembly line who was happy to go unnoticed.
They have better things to worry about, more important things to worry about than, who's that guy.
The 64-year-old bagged sand anonymously for almost an hour
I think that's amazing.
before we pointed him out to the homeowner, which almost left him
I am,
speechless.
dumb. I'm stricken by not even realizing that.
Perrin had his reasons for helping complete strangers,
Just trying to make the world a better place.
which on this day he just might have accomplished one bag at a time.
I'm going to make sure that my two sons and our family make good on what people are doing for us.
Pretty amazing thing. Now, the city of Burlington is looking for volunteers to help fill sandbags tomorrow morning at Letty Park. And the Red Cross is also looking for volunteers to help with flood victims. We've put information for both of those on our website, abc22.com.